Hi and welcome to this latest conversation video. Today I'm joined by Lee Senft. Lee is an account executive at Smokeball UK, and Smokeball is a legal practice management software company, which I'm sure Lee will tell us more about in a moment. Smokeball, I'm really privileged to have on board as one of the sponsors for my four legal events. This autumn, we're autumn 2025, we're recording this, and in October, I'll be talking in Manchester and in Birmingham, and then in December in London, giving an immigration law update. And Smokeball, in the past and in these current series of events, have kindly sponsored those sessions, which has been really great to have them on board and great value towards the delegates there. So, Lee, thank you first to Smokeball for being involved, and thank you for coming to chat to me today.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
No, great. Tell us a bit about you, what you do, and a bit about Smokeball.
Yeah, so as you say, I'm an account executive for Smokeball. So I'm talking to firms on a daily basis about, their current practice and how they currently operate. And yeah, Smokeball has actually been around for a long time, but only launched in the UK in 2023, and yeah, gone very, very well here. And interestingly, in the other countries where we operate, I would suggest that maybe conveyancing and family are the areas that are most practiced. But in the UK, we've had a real big uptake for immigration firms, and so yeah, it's been excellent. The four legal events that you present at have been really good for us. And yeah, it's case management software for small firms who just need to manage their cases and stay on top of what's happening.
And probably my biggest audience are immigration lawyers who are in smaller firms. So, what would you say the main practice management challenges are to immigration lawyers in the UK today?
It's a really good question. I mean, I think in immigration particularly, one of the things we see a lot of is that the information gathering from clients around passports and other evidence comes from so many different
Yep.
places. It may come through on email, WhatsApp. So I think that is a real challenge for those small firms. We work with firms we work with lawyers who just work on their own. It's just them and they're all super busy. But even those who have, caseworkers or other fee earners in their firms, I think the other thing that they find difficult is staying on top of everything, like what's happening, where are people up to on certain cases, because they're also doing the work themselves. They don't just sit back and work necessarily on the firm; they're very much in the firm, and so I think we see that as quite a big challenge for them. Is that I've got my own clients that I'm managing, but what's everybody else up to? And I think that's a real tricky one for them.
And in terms of those challenges, how can Smokeball specifically assist these lawyers in these smaller firms who are trying to keep on top of everything with these clients who are bombarding them from every angle?
Great question. Well, a couple of things. Firstly, there is a Smokeball app for mobile phones on both Android and Apple. And so, as much as I know a lot of firms are trying to discourage their clients sending information through WhatsApp, you just can't change human nature. And so it will and does happen. And so there's a really nice and quick, easy way to save anything sent via WhatsApp straight into the matter in Smokeball. So everything's kept in one place. And we have a secure client portal, which is also a really good way for information sharing. It allows firms to send text messages to clients, which they're more likely to read perhaps than an email. But it also allows clients to upload documents and evidence that will then save straight into a matter. Um, any emails that relate to matters automatically save. So it's really just about having everything in one place and having that visibility of what's going on in my firm. One particular feature that I know a lot of immigration firms like is we've applied what we call stages to matters. So, file setup, draft application, etc. And they're customizable, so every firm can very much make them their own. But firm owners really like that because it enables them to see what's going on across my whole firm. How many matters have we got? What stages are they at? And actually, what's happening here? So, I'd say they're the main ones. I think another really big one is not exclusively, but almost exclusively, those cases are fixed fee. It is the norm in the
Yeah,
industry.
absolutely.
And so I think what a lot of firms don't necessarily understand or really on top of is how much time are they actually spending on these cases? What does your profit look like? There's there's that saying of being a busy fool that I've got loads of work on, but actually, so one of the really nice things in Smokeball is it tracks the activity. So every email, every keystroke and mouse movement gets recorded. And so from a firm owner perspective, it's really powerful to understand, okay, well, if I've charged £1,500 for a piece of work, who worked on it in my firm? How long did they spend working on it? And what's that cost me in wages versus what I charge? So it really enables firm owners to stay on top of profitability and which matter types are working best for them. Also managing leads coming into the business. Everything's in one place within Smokeball.
I think you raised some really interesting points there. I think it's really helpful for those running small firms to be able to review their fixed fees and Smokeball, giving them the opportunity to think, well, how many hours did we actually spend on this case?
Mm.
I know at previous training events, following some SRA guidance, I had some really interesting discussions with people about using things like WhatsApp to receive documents from clients. And it is a reality, and how we manage that is so important. And that really takes me to my next question, the real big hot topic, and you know about it because you were at my Birmingham event where we had a big
I
discussion about
was.
this and the use of AI in legal practice. Before I come to you, just to help out practitioners, there have been some brand new cases which I'll discuss at the upcoming events on AI in legal practice. So there was a recent upper tribunal decision called MS, and that's 2025 UKUT 305, and that was a decision by the president. And this is all concerning people using AI to produce documents that has false information and fabricated judgments in it and haven't properly checked the documents before submitting them. So be aware of that case. What it says there in the head note, and I'll read it, it says the divisional court has provided guidance in the case of Ayinde, and that's the second case I'm going to come to, that the consequence of using AI large language models in a way which results in false authorities being cited is likely to be referred to a professional regulator such as the BSB or the SRA, as it is a lawyer's professional responsibility to ensure that checks on the accuracy of citation of authority or quotations are carried out using reputable sources of legal information. And it goes further, it says this: where there is evidence of the deliberate placing of false material before the court, police investigation or contempt proceedings may be appropriate. And that case that was being referred to is called Ayinde. That was one of these Hamid referral cases, and it was in front of the president of the King's Bench Division. And the citation for that is 2025 EWHC 1383. But to be fair, the president, Dame Victoria Sharp, in that case, talks about the benefits of AI for practice and the fact it is being used by the courts in various areas, and appropriate, proper use is something that is a benefit to lawyers. So, with those sort of cautions and caveats in mind, how does Smokeball utilize AI, and how can lawyers use AI within Smokeball?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I remember at that Birmingham event, one of the questions you asked the audience was put your hands up if you use AI. And I was really taken aback by how many hands went
Mm,
up and
me
the
too.
different platforms there.
Yeah.
And so I guess firstly, let's start with that caution. I mean, we recommend to every single person using the AI assistant in Smokeball, trust it, but verify it.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility to make sure that if you're going to ask our AI assistant to create you a document or respond to an email for you or whatever that may be, you always need to check that. So the nice thing about our AI assistant, who we have named Archie, it's built into Smokeball. First thing, completely secure. Nothing that you do within our AI leaves Smokeball. So there is zero risk of breaching client confidentiality, GDPR, etc. And Archie will review within a matter all of your parties, all of your correspondence, all of your documentation. And so you can do simple things like go into Archie and just ask Archie to summarize a matter for you. And again, from a firm owner perspective, if you've got a caseworker working on a case and you just want to get a feel for what's been going on, you don't have to trawl through every document and email to see that. You can just ask Archie, and Archie will very quickly spit out a summary of what's gone on and any upcoming events, key dates, etc. But you can also then use Archie to review a specific document. So if you've had an application decline, you could, if that letter is within your matter, you can ask Archie to review that and understand why it's been
Mm.
declined, and then even ask Archie to write you a response to that letter. And the really nice thing is, every time you ask Archie anything, Archie will always show you where it's getting its information from. And I think that's key to then understand, okay, it's not hallucinating, it's not making things up, it's showing me that where it's got that information from. So really, really powerful tool, incredible time saving. But as I say, yeah, trust but verify. It's absolutely your responsibility to check anything that goes out into the wide world.
No, that's really helpful. The AI is a powerful tool. Appropriate use can be really helpful to practitioners,
Helpful.
but AI hallucinations are at the moment a real thing. And you have those professional obligations, as Leah said, to verify. I'll refer you back to those court judgments because they could have really serious consequences. Now, Lee, we've raised some really interesting subjects here, which I'm sure people might want to take further, and we're happy to discuss these at the upcoming events, whether it's AI in practice, whether it's collating client data through using things like WhatsApp. There's plenty of things to chew on there when we get together. But in the meantime, how can people reach out to you, and what can you do for them going forward?
Well, for anyone who has any interest, whether it's just looking at the AI functionality or Smokeball as a whole, or maybe just some questions, feel free to reach out. Um, You can find me on LinkedIn. My contact details are there. But Lee.Senft, it is a bit of a strange surname, at Smokeball. So that's smoke, SMOKEBALL, smokeball.co.uk is probably your best bet. You can also find details on the website, smokeball.co.uk.
Lee, that's brilliant. I'll put all those details below this video. I'll
Perfect.
also put details of those court judgments for anybody who wants to look at that. But Lee, thank you so much for your time today. Really helpful snapshot of how case management software can help people, raising some interesting stuff about AI and how we go forward to manage our practices effectively whilst complying with our professional obligations.
Perfect. Thanks for having me, Adam. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you at the upcoming events.
And you.